Today, we're diving into why three big Canadian clubs, Toronto FC, CF Montreal, and Vancouver Whitecaps, play in Major League Soccer instead of a Canadian-only league. We'll walk through what was missing, what changed, and where Canada stands now with its own pro leagues. Stick around, because by the end, you'll see how it all fits together. The Canadian professional soccer scene lacked a national, high-level league for years. That left only one realistic option, playing in the U.S. system. So when the doors opened, Toronto FC 2007, Vancouver 2011, and Montreal 2012 jumped in even before MLS was well known in Canada. Canadians basically borrowed the U.S. league because theirs didn't exist at that level. Think of it like joining the only race going on nearby. All three were grandfathered into MLS and allowed to keep playing there. Through agreements with U.S. Soccer and CONCACAF, entry into a better-funded, more stable league that offered real growth. MLS investments in youth development, Generation Adidas Canada, and improved broadcast deals in Canada. TSN, TVA, DAZN brought good visibility. Canadian teams helped rejuvenate MLS and added strong fan bases and facilities like BMO Field. Canadian players were often treated as international for U.S. teams, making roster spots extra hard to come by. MLS is fundamentally a U.S. league. Decisions are made there, not in Toronto or Vancouver. Rivalries felt weaker. Fans miss local, intense matchups, something Canadian-only rivalries could deliver. The Canadian answer, corporal and domestic development. Canadian Premier League, launched in 2019, is the first fully national top-tier men's league sanctioned by Canada Soccer. It features 8 teams, from Atlantic Canada to British Columbia, and aims to nurture Canadian talent with drafts and minimum Canadian player requirements. Still, MLS is critical for growth. MLS continues to be a key development path. It offers high-level competition and exposure. CPL is gaining traction, but MLS's quality and infrastructure remain unmatched for now.
Soccer Arena Sport Canada. Please don't forget to subscribe and follow.
A note on the women's game. In 2025, Canada finally launched the Northern Super League, a pro-women's league with 6 teams and strong player-friendly policies, minimum wages, maternity benefits, housing, salary cap. This is a big step forward, not tied to MLS, but another example of Canadian pro leagues starting up to fill long-standing gaps. Canadian teams joined MLS because there was no viable Canadian pro league. Playing in MLS offered better competition, money, development, and exposure. But it came with trade-offs. Canadian players faced disadvantage, and the league's identity remained U.S.-centric. Now Canada has its own men's and women's leagues, but the MLS connection still matters. Canada's teams played in MLS by necessity, not by choice. The absence of a strong home league meant relying on a foreign system. That left Canadian soccer reliant on another country's league structure and gave U.S. roles an outsized influence on Canadian players and teams. Then came the Canadian Premier League in 2019. It was a chance to own a national league, control development, and build rivalries. For young Canadian players, this meant clearer pathways, local clubs, local fans, local pride. On the women's side, the Northern Super League, born out of necessity and passion, showed that Canada could build from scratch with better funding models and respect for players. Both are growing slowly but steadily. With live broadcasts, sponsorships, and investment, these leagues are building momentum. The key moment, when the first corporal games kicked off in 2019, it marked a real turning point for Canadian men's soccer. Suddenly, we had a pro league centered in Canada, giving players, fans, and cities something of their own. And for women, the inaugural match of the Northern Super League in April 2025. Watching O Canada play in BC Place, with 14,000 fans cheering, felt like the long-awaited milestone Canadian soccer needed. So there you go. Canada's pro soccer teams chose MLS because it was the only game in town. It helped build the game's footprint here, but it wasn't perfect. Today, with the CPL and the NSL, Canada is stepping into its own, building professional leagues with Canadian roots. Still, MLS remains an important arena for talent and growth. It's a dual identity, and one that might just serve Canada well going forward. Hit subscribe and don't miss the next video dropping on your screen.
Thank you for watching Soccer Arena Sport Canada. Please don't forget to subscribe and follow for more contents.